So Robert, what is the situation, right? The disappearance, held in captivity, killed in captivity. His family finally accepted that he was killed in captivity, right? U.S. assessments that were involved, U.S. government, and clarification on what could have occurred, the killing on his end, held captive, and all the rest, right? He died as an Iranian detainee. Family knows and all the rest, right? Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as the ID Go app. You might want to get those two things combined to make them into one, and I'm a Discovery influencer. That's indeed a fact. Influencer. So, retired FBI special agent Robert, right, went missing during a business trip to Iran March 9th, 2007, March 8th, 2007. Levinson traveled. Robert, he traveled to Iran to complete work on behalf of various large corporations, right? No one has heard from him since. He's been missing for 15 years now. No one has heard from him since. He's been missing for 15 years, right? As family finally accepted he died in captivity, as I stated in my opening, by ways of U.S. assessments for verification. Held captive, right? You go somewhere and then you're taken into captivity. But why? There's videos on him showing that he was held captive, as well as photographs of him holding up signs while he was in captivity, right? Human remains, right? His human remains. There's a mystery in that. That is a mystery. That's the mystery itself, right? So is the location and circumstances involving his death, right? There's been so many American citizens kidnapped by terrorist groups overseas, right? That continues to be the discussion, and it should be. That continues to be the discussion, how Americans go missing, have went missing in various locations, various lands. Iranian detainees, right? U.S. U.S. citizens in which go missing, just like Robert did, right? But bodies in which haven't been recovered, right? It's rare for bodies to even be recovered. The hostages, right? It's rare for bodies of hostages to be recovered unless the victims die in attempted rescue missions. Where could his human remains be? That's where the question is. That's the mystery, right? Robert, where could his human remains be? After he was killed, where did they lay him to rest, in a sense? Lay to rest, right? You can even be laid to rest even in captivity, even if it's done improperly, right? Sure, they didn't handle his body oh so right or so great, those who held him captive, but where did they lay his remains? See, because to know there's so much land, Iran, to know that there's so much land, got deserts and stuff like that, maybe he was laid out there somewhere. If you're held captive, right? Law enforcement authorities questions. If you're held captive and then you're killed while in captivity, where could your body be placed? Iran. Think of Iran. Are they kidnapped U.S. citizens? Where would they even hold so many dead bodies, human remains? Think of the deserts, right? Dry land. Heat. That's all I think of. Decaying bodies, heat, deserts. I don't think they would be what's the word for it? Holding dead bodies within buildings. To be an Iranian detainee would probably be to be your body placed out in the desert somewhere, as it rots or decays or something like that. Law enforcement. They wouldn't have held his body or any U.S. American's body within buildings. I sense that. No, out in the desert. Out in the desert. Because even when you see videos where there have been people held hostage and captives, right? Held in captivity. There have been videos of people that were out in the desert while they were held captive. That's more likely where his remains body was placed, out in the desert. Whoops. So, dear viewers, we're on Investigation Discovery. The ID logo stands in the far left corner. No, I know that, out in the desert. You have a human body, right? The waste that's involved in human bodies, even the smell, right? Even Iranians, once a body starts to decay, right, petrifies, or our bodies rot and all the rest, starts to smell. Why would any Iranian or I over in Iran, why would they even want a dead body around them all like that? They would get rid of it. Usually here in America, we usually, in other places as well, usually you bury dead bodies, but I'm sure people held in captivity are not properly buried or anything like that. I'm sure they probably just rid the body because then it becomes waste. It's a, what can you do with a dead body? Probably place it in the desert somewhere. Right? That's for those that ask. Well, what did they do with his body? Probably placed it in the desert. There's just no human remains left behind here in America. So once again, dear viewers, we're on Investigation Discovery. The ID logo stands in the far left corner. Let me know what you think and feel about this video. What do you think? What could have happened, as I asked that, and what do you think that they say over in Iran? Iranian detainee. What's the situation with that? What do you do with a dead body over there? For the victims who were held captive. To no dead body smell is to not ever hold a dead body in a building or anything like that. They wouldn't even, I'm sure they wouldn't even bury his body. What will be the point over there in Iran? What would be the point to even bury him? A family question. That would have given the family closure, right? That's why they wanted his body. Who wouldn't? Family. They wanted his body for closure to bury him. But over in Iran, I can't see them burying any U.S. citizens who are held captive over there. No. You can see them just leaving them out in the desert or something to rot or something. His human remains, right? So, dear viewers, may you enjoy your day. I will, in fact, enjoy mine, and I'm gone for now. One.